Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be test driving the first laser scan circuit in rFactor 2, and that is Sebring International Raceway. And this is a track I've been really excited for. It's one of the first major projects that's been undertaken by Studio 397 that I think it's one of the first tracks that was originally announced and released for rFactor 2. So I'm really excited to see how this is. Did a couple test laps so far with it, and it was a lot of fun. But I am running into a strange issue with my OSW. Hopefully, I've been able to fix it. But yeah, and then at the top of the hour, 11 a.m. Pacific time, I am going to be joining in with the Studio 397 community event that's going on. So that should be a lot of fun. So this is an interesting version of Sebring because with the rFactor, or not, with the third-party version of rFactor 2's one, which was a conversion of the rFactor 1, that's based off of the late 2000s. I want to say the iRacing version is based off of the late 2000s as well. This is the first one that's, I think, based off of 2018 spec Sebring. So you'll notice it'll look a lot different, and it should be a lot more bumpy, I think. So I just want to check something real quick. I was having this weird issue with just on the bumps having all of the buttons being pressed on my wheel. So hopefully I can resolve that because that can be an issue. So let me check something real quick. I'm going to unmap the Alt Escape because I was all of a sudden just getting pulled out of my car while I was test driving. So hopefully this is better. Unfortunately, I don't know the price yet. It should be up online any minute now. It should be live any minute on the Steam store. So I know that it should be up ASAP. I don't know exactly when. They told me that they were initially planning on releasing it an hour, but then they told me, oh, hey, we're going to release it an hour early for you guys. So, yeah, that's nice. But hopefully it'll be up any minute. Just have to wait for it to load now. I wish that with this new UI update and overhaul that Studio 397 is doing could somehow lower load times. Because this is still a long load time. Fair enough, G-Runner. Or G-Runner, are you Studio 397? So hopefully this issue is resolved now. Because I was having the weird problem with my steering wheel. So basically it was throwing me out of the car, pressing all the buttons for something. It's like issue with the connection or something. So hopefully this is resolved now. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, first impressions, this looks really good. And then second impression, wow, this gets bumpy. Because I did a few laps before. This is the bumpiest version of Sebring I've ever driven on. And you'll feel every bump, especially through a direct drive wheel. So how is this compared to the Virtua LM version? Basically, I don't know all the differences between... I want to say that Virtua LM version is based off of like 2009, 2010 specs. And this is based off of 2017, 2018. So This feels a little narrower. This track feels a little narrower. You can see there are pavement patches that aren't on the virtual LM version. You can feel the difference between those different patches. This is a lot bumpier though. This is a lot bumpier, which kind of makes sense. This track has gotten more weathered. It's a little more worn out. So it is a very bumpy surface. It's very bumpy, pretty challenging. So around here, earlier on in my early testing before this stream, I was having this weird issue where it would hit all the buttons of my car. So if you see this pit speed limiter randomly kick in, that's why. So far, so good. We'll see how long we can last. I'm a little nervous about turn 17 though, because that's obviously going to be one of the bumpiest portions of this entire track, and that might make my wheel go a little haywire. So fingers crossed. But yeah, this turn, I guess it's turn 16 or something. Totally different feeling. This area feels a lot narrower than iRacing's or virtual LM's. But here's turn 17. You can just see it's a lot more worn down. And you can just see this car pitching over the bumps. And largely my initial impressions is this is just significantly narrower. And that's not bad. I wouldn't call that bad. It's different. And I guess that wall goes a little further than I remembered. Because generally when the wall ended, that was my breaking point with iRacing's and virtual LM's. And now I guess that wall's a little further. Track is live, guys, so if you go to the Steam store page for rFactor 2, it should be under items, I think. By the way, G-Runner, is there a chance you could share the price? Because I can't really see it right now. But wow, I am liking the feel of this track. It's bumpy, but not overly harsh. The track mesh feels good. That's all I can really say. Wait, 8.99 euros, so that would be about 10, 11 US dollars? Okay, this is a great deal. I might be a little biased. Sebring's one of my favorite tracks. But still, this level of quality feels great. I'm enjoying the feel of the car. It feels like they put a lot of effort and work into this track. Yeah, G-Runner, I am going to be in the community event. And is it like info in the forums or something like that where I join in? Turn 1 feels good, but just totally different. Okay, hop on your stream. Whoa, okay. Oh, that was a nice slide. This is a fun car. So, I want to do another experiment in a minute. I want to see how it looks transitioning from day to night. So we'll jump into another car and we'll take a look at day to night transition. Will there be more laser scanning coming from rFactor 2? I am not sure yet. I don't know. I'm hoping so because it sounds like they have more things in the pipeline. What I'm wondering is if they're going to be announcing more stuff at SimRacing Expo in September. Because in their roadmap, they talked about the upcoming events they're going to. They're going to that event in Shanghai next month. And then in September, they're going to be at the Sim Racing Expo, which is at the 24 Hours in Nürburgring. And I think they said they're going to be announcing a few surprises. So hopefully, maybe that could be more laser scan tracks. I have no clue. I don't have any insider information on that. I'm just speculating. So I'm gonna hop out of this car and let's take a look at the exterior replay angles real quick, because that's something also to consider. I love the sounds of this car. This car sounds amazing. And a lot of, yeah, the GT3 Power Pack, they did a great job with the sounds. I think they did a better job with the sounds in the GT3 Power Pack than in the Endurance Pack, personally. But it's this kind of car that shows what this rFactor 2 ISI Motor 2 engine is capable of. It's these kinds of things where the sounds sound awesome. How big is the difference between laser scan track and a non-laser scan track? It depends on who makes it, really. Because you can make a great laser scan track off of CAD data. And you can make a relatively poor laser scan track. The thing is, laser scanning only gives you the point cloud data. It's still kind of a connect the dots. You need to build the track mesh to fit over the point cloud data. Okay, hold on a sec. We gotta see that slide again. That slide looked pretty cool. So apparently one of the things that they talked about with the new tire model in rFactor 2 is it's better to manage slides, and it is better to handle, and tires will behave better under sliding. So watch this. So I clipped the grass right there. That pitches the car in. And you can see in the window, I'm counter steering to the right. Counter steering, sliding, sliding, sliding. I would have liked to see a little tire mark maybe, but it's okay. But man, that car behavior just felt so natural. That's one of the things I just loved about it. Like that slide, you saw afterwards, I had a grin on my face catching that slide and just keeping going. And yeah, I think you can see why. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, this car on this track, it's a blast. And it's a lot bumpier, so if you're expecting Virtua LM or even iRacing smoothness, don't. This is a bumpier track. This track, since the iRacing days, has aged roughly 7 to 8 years. Keep that in mind. That iRacing's version of Sebring, I think, is based off of a scan from 2008 to 2010. This is a 2018 track now. Keep that in mind. This track is weathered. It's a little more worn out. It's a little bumpier, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. You see the patches in the asphalt. You see the worn out spots. You see the cracks in the pavement. You're going to feel that. It's bumpier. So keep that in mind. And that's one of the beautiful things about laser scanning. You're going to notice it. You're going to notice the track is a little more lived in. It's a little more worn out. And yeah. I got to give props to Studio 397 though. This track looks great and really works well. Performance-wise, I have no complaints right now. With the latest update to DirectX 11, it feels great. But now I want to experiment, see what happens when we go from day to night. So we are going to do 6 p.m. and we are going to forward the time acceleration. So 15 time telling. That's 1 hour and 4 minutes. All right, let me think. 4 minutes per hour. 6 minutes per hour. Yeah, let's do that. And let's see what car to jump into. I think I'm going to do the Porsche GTE because I think that's one of my favorite sounding cars in rFactor 2 right now. Or at least one of them. Boxmaster? Oh, man. Oh, that would just... Imagine the Boxmaster Sebring in VR. Just bump, 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 bump. Maybe for another day. But yeah, so far, initial impressions, Sebring, very positive. I'm enjoying it. Can you show how to add AI cars in practice? So, it's that. If you go into the practice settings, on the top setting, there is the option Private Practice. You turn that off, boom, you have AI cars. Slinky on live. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Trying to remember which Mike are you. There are so many people named Mike in sim racing. There's Mike from SimRacing 604. If I remember correctly, RTA Motorsports, is he named Mike as well? And there's Mike Tanty. Oh, you're Mike Tanty. Okay. Well, it's cool to have you in here. Thanks for dropping by. So let's take a look at this. Let's make sure we have the degrees of rotation set properly. 540. Yes, that is what we are looking for.
Data logging disabled.
But the sound of this car. Freaking love it. So again, we had to wait for the pit light exit to turn green. There we go. So you see headlights, they will cast, which is nice. In the earlier days of rFactor 2, they didn't really do that unless it was nighttime. So the lighting engine in rFactor 2 really has been expanded on and improved recently. So it is going to get darker quickly because we have time acceleration set on, so it's already 6:10 p.m. You can see the light from the sun glistening on the track. Looks pretty good. Hello, Dunwell, how's it going? The only thing I might ask for a little more in the interior sound of this car is a little more transmission whine. But I think they've basically nailed the engine note, because the engine note in this sounds, in my opinion, better than iRacing's. iRacing's engine note for this car sounds a little more on the clinical side, but iRacing has a little more of that transmission whine, which is nice. So the reason I have the specific window on the bottom right is because I want to show you how sunset kicks in, what the time is and stuff, which is pretty exciting. Up my audio channels, hold on. Is that better for you? I don't want to be drowned out by the car audio, though. That's what I'm trying to make sure I'm not doing. But, oh my god, the bumps in turn 17. They're absolutely insane. And you could hear that transmission warbling a bit. So let me know, is the audio levels good now? I had to keep on remembering, move my braking mental point back a bit. Especially this car is just so lively. I'm just going to turn on headlights now. I hit the wrong button. I accidentally turned on wipers. There we go, headlights. You can see it is actually lighting up the track a little better. Okay, thanks guys for the input on the sound. Sound is always so tricky to get balanced right. But yeah, you can just see how this car gets so upset over the balance. Oh, actually over the bumps, I mean. Especially with this being the mid-engine car, because previously we were driving, or no, the McLaren's mid-engine as well. But you can just see how this car gets unbalanced. Especially over the seams and the cracks and the bumps. That's one of the reasons I love Sebring so much. It's a track with character. And it's interesting though because it's a relatively flat track. There aren't many real off-camber corners or cambered corners, no real elevation changes, which might make you think it's almost a boring track, but these bumps, these cracks, it just adds so much character. Like right there, turn 17, you feel the car really get unsettled over those bumps, and it's a fun sensation. So let's brake here. Be a little conservative in turn 1. But you can just see the car wash out because of the bumps. There we go. And then get a little oversteery on trail brake. But you're starting to see the shadows get a little longer as the sun gets a lot dark. All right. You're starting to see the shadows get longer as the sun gets lower. That's what I'm trying to say. So right now it's about 7 p.m. So here's one of the things I wish that Studio 397 would implement into rFactor 2, maybe in the UI. So one of the things about time of day transition is time of day is not always the same. Sunset in January is drastically different than sunset in July. So, for example, right now, I'm going to guess that sunset is going to kick in at about 8 to 8:30ish. That would be my guess with the way that I'm seeing the sun's patterns. But say middle of July, like it is right now, it doesn't, like sunset isn't until about 9 o'clock in my area. And realistically, I'd like to see that option similar to Project Cars 2, where you can set the time, or not time, the date, and you can have it be sunset earlier or sunset later. One of my reasons why is because think about endurance races. Think about the 24-hour Le Mans. The 24-hour Le Mans takes place in late May, early June. And that would mean that sunset is usually around, I'd say, 8:30ish. And now, the way tracks are built in rFactor 2, sunset and sunrise are determined by text files. It's determined by the way you have in the text file saying what day of the year it is. It's always based off of one static day of the year. So if in the setting it's in May, it's okay. If in the setting they accidentally set it to August, or actually no, let's say October, then sunset would not correlate right with the 24-hour Le Mans. So it's that kind of idea. Or let's say Sebring. 12 hours of Sebring, I think, if I remember correctly, is earlier in the year. or is it later in the year? But it's not in the summer months, so sunset would be a little earlier, I think. So it would be nice to be able to cater and tweak the calendar, per se, and have it set to be a time of day, sunset, sunrise, according to how it would be in real life in the events. Okay, Sebring March, thank you. But yeah, you're starting to see it get darker. It's 7:30 right now. So yeah, I'm guessing sunset will be closer to 8, or it's kind of sunset right now. It's getting darker. You're seeing it go a little faster because I had it set to, I think 4 time acceleration, so 7:30. So it'll be dark by 8, which I think is pretty on point for March. March pre-daylight savings, I think. So pre-daylight savings, it would be dark around this time. So yeah, you're seeing it's getting darker a lot faster. That's because I have the time acceleration. So now it's actually dark-ish. For the heck of it, turn off the lights. Pretty significant difference. Headlights now required. Hopefully it will get even darker, because it feels kind of dusk-ish now. So, Mike, or wait, another Mike. Okay, so, sorry, sidetrack. I have triples on the rig. Actually, I should say 2/3 of triples, because my third monitor died, so I had to send it out for a warranty repair. Right now, I'm using a single setup. For streaming, I tend to use a single monitor while streaming, because it lessens the load on my graphics card, which means I can utilize some of my graphics card's resources towards streaming and encoding. So there's that, and what was it? It's just kind of easier to manage. I have my chat window on my left side, so I can read the chat while driving, which, I mean, sometimes I just shouldn't do that, but hey. But yeah, frame rate, I've been noticing it is incredibly stable. I did notice 1 or 2 hiccups in yesterday's stream. That was more due to the weather, and I think it was a CPU hiccup, not graphics card. I haven't noticed any frame drops or really major performance issues as of yet, which is really saying something for rFactor 2, because I still remember back 2013, 2014, this would like cripple a system. It would just cripple a graphics card and stuff. Granted, I want to test later on my lower end system. I'm currently using my high end system with the i7 and GTX 1080, but I have my Ryzen system, which has a GTX 970 in it right now. So I'd like to test it out with the 970, which is still a little on the higher end, but it's not as high as a 1080. But I think a lot of people around here, they use a 970, 960, and okay, so I had that issue. As earlier I mentioned, I had this weird issue where if I would hit a bump, I would just get hit with this weird issue. I think it's with my adapter that would basically hit every single button on my wheel at the same time. So the shifters would go into neutral, the wipers would turn on, pit speed limiter would turn on, would shut off the car and everything. So you just saw that happen, and let's hope that it's okay now. But yeah, that's something I need to try to sort out. I'll talk with Sim Racing Machines about it, but it's weird. They haven't really heard much of that issue. I don't know what exactly is going on. My guess is it's something that it's a connection with the pins on my wheel. I took a look earlier and the pins are just fine on my wheel, so I'm not sure exactly what's causing it. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen too much while driving. But yeah, let's see real quick. So right now it is saying it is 8:16 p.m. in the sim. You're starting to see the stars coming out. You're starting to see it get even darker. And it looks good. For heck of it, let's turn off the headlights. Yeah, getting really dark. And I still remember, like, pre-DX11 days, I had sometimes this issue where it wasn't legitimately getting too dark. But now it actually legitimately gets darker, so I'm really liking that. It really is getting dark. It really is getting a little more challenging. Granted, there are lights all around the track, so don't have to worry too much, but hey, night racing for the win. And just again, the feeling of this track, it is a great feeling going over the bumps, the texture of the track. Right now I'm not using the butt kicker. I am working on some studio renovations. As you can see, like, the background looks a little cleaner than it in the past. So I need to reset up the butt kicker, configure it, and things like that. But I'm not using it currently. But man, that bump, like, just feeling that bump going into turn 17, that's one of my favorite feelings of this entire track. Feeling the tires skipping around, feeling it getting squirrely under braking, and I'd say it's whoa, 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 okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's so easy for the car to get unsettled, but that's the rewarding part of this track. You have to be careful, you have to be smooth, you have to be deliberate in your inputs, or else you're going to be spit out. It'll be interesting to see how things go when doing endurance races sometimes at this track, because it'd be fun to do like a simulated 12 hours of Sebring. Maybe get some people together, put on an event like that. But yeah, so 25 minutes until the community event starts. So we will crash their stream in a few minutes and just try to see how to join the community event. Naramize. This is a new release from Studio 397. I believe it's either you find it in the Steam Workshop, or if you go into the store page for rFactor 2, you can find it under the items, I think. And I want to say it's about $11 for the track, but based off the quality of work and the effort they put into it, man, this, I mean, I'd say it's easily worth the money, in my opinion. Frame rate with AI. I haven't actually concretely looked at what the frame rate is, but it felt 60-ish at least. It felt stable, it felt good. So let's see, it's 10:36 right now. Let's do a quick race. But man, that sound. Slightly digitized. I mean, you can hear it's a little digital-ish, but still sounds great. So, I mean, there's always room for improvement. We'll see if future patches help refine the sound a bit. So let's do... let's see. Laps. We'll do 10 lap race. Sure, 10 time progression, why not? 3 lap qualifying, and then the race. Okay, Shane, I'll see you soon. Let me check something real quick. It's always funny when I get a notification for my own live stream, because I have my personal YouTube channel, and I am subscribed to my to SimRacingPaddock with my personal channel, and I always get the notification SimRacingPaddock has gone live, and it's like, yeah, I know. But yeah, this track, it's one of my favorite American tracks. Still, I'd say Sonoma is my favorite racetrack, but Sebring, I'd say, might be second favorite in the US, where it just has so much history behind it, because it started off as a World War II airport, then closed down and got converted into a racetrack. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty fitting. So I guess you could say possibly 2 kinds of Mustangs have been on this track. Oh shoot, I think I just realized something
Data
wrong.
logging disabled.
Okay, this is just going to be a GTE race, I guess. Or, not GTE. Porsche GTE. Okay. We can dig it.
Data logging disabled.
Let's make sure that we don't have my wheel spaz out again. Whoops, accidentally hit. There we go. Yeah, turn 1 is shockingly different in this compared to Virtua LM or iRacing's version. And just in general, this track feels a lot narrower. Later on, I might do a side-by-side comparison of this and Virtua LM. I think that would be fun to do. But I know this will sound weird, but this feels close to the Forza Motorsport version in the best possible way, which is weird to say. But the Forza Motorsport version of Sebring is laser scanned, also it's laser scanned based off of modern spec. So this being close to the Forza version is actually okay. But yeah, laser scan down to millimeter. Oh, it's Dom. Dom, your last name is pronounced Duhan, if I remember correctly. He's Team Redline driver, but also he is affiliated with Studio 397. So yeah, another rFactor 2 dev team member is in the house. But yeah, I am enjoying this track. It feels like it has so much more character. And turn 17, right there. It's just such an unusual feeling, but it is something that I am loving. That feeling going into turn 17, going kind of askew over these seams. Going askew over the seams means that the car will just get really unsettled, and you have to keep that in mind. Gotta be careful with that Porsche on my left side. There we go, a little on the throttle. So we gotta get a good lap in here. But we'll get to see how AI performs on this track. Please don't glitch out, wheel. Whoa, little oversteer. Whoa! Okay. That could have been a bit of my fault, I think. Little bump. Little Remmens racing. Wait, this is the weirdest sensation, though, because the thing is, I know this is Sebring. I know that this is the same track I've driven on hundreds and hundreds of laps. But it's just that little bit different. It's just that little bit foreign to me. So I have to adapt. I have to tweak my driving a little bit to be able to hit my marks a little better. It's unusual, but it's something that's kind of nice. It's nice having to adapt. It's nice actually having to work on this. So yeah. Let's listen real quick. But I was holding that guy up a bit. Whoops. And you can hear cars along different portions of the track. And just this angle, the camera angles, you can tell they just did a lot of good work into this track. And it just looks good. I mean, by rFactor 2 standards, I should say. Hold on a second. Respect the bumps. Yes. Good advice, Alan James. Good advice. But you can just see the car getting unsettled. Jose Bravo, thanks for subscribing. Thank you very much. Yeah, remember, respect the bumps because they will eat you alive. Right there, little rubbing. Wow, we are off. We're off a bit. Hold on a second, let's do some garage tweaks, I guess. Wait, can't adjust the gearing, okay. We'll lower the wing a bit. Oh, we should have done the qualifying fuel mix. We'll do some grill tape on here, I guess. So 207.8.
Disabled.
Let's jump to next session, and yeah, we're back. We fell back. Next session. Time for the race.
Data logging disabled.
I'm gonna skip formation lap. Okay. Whoa! Slight CPU issue, I think. So it looks like still CPU usage might be a little on the higher side. That's why we're seeing some of that juddering, I think. Whoa! Drifting! rFactor 2 does have VR support. So yeah, it's also, I think, partly because I'm streaming. That can be... Whoa, okay. Warning, cut track. So it still seems like CPU little high. Kind of strangely enough, we didn't run into this issue when we were driving yesterday in the GT3. So when we were doing GT3 racing, we didn't have this issue with 25 cars. But now it looks like it's a little stable, or more stable. But it seems like there are still optimizations that need to be made. But it's also that weird balance because I'm streaming. That's putting an extra toll on my CPU and my GPU. So it's like, what part of that streaming, what part of that is actually a flaw in rFactor 2? But yeah. That's what testing is for. That's why people test software, and hopefully you can figure out how to improve it. So we're in 17th right now. Oh, that was a good first corner. Seems like AI is pretty competent. We'll see if they cause another wreck on this back straight, though. Nope, looks like they are actually driving. So, hard on the brakes. If I remember correctly, this car does not have ABS. Okay, yeah, GTE cars, they do not have ABS, but they do have traction control. Okay. Maybe not much traction control, but yeah, you can see the rear end step out a bit. Whoa! Whoa, Nelly. I clipped the grass there and it just shot me off. So, yeah, you have to be careful. Don't hit the brake when you're partly on the grass. It will pull you off track. And look how much ground we lost. We lost about 2 seconds there, I think. Whoa! Banana Ramen Mania, I think that's your name. I am loving this track. It's a laser scan track for rFactor 2 first off. It's based off of modern Sebring, and that's pretty significant because iRacing's version of Sebring is years old. It is based off of like 2009, 2010 circa specs. This is based off of, I think, 2018 Sebring, which means it really is like as close to modern Sebring as we currently have. And you can see it's more weathered, it has more character, it's bumpier, it has like the different patches on the asphalt, and you can feel the difference between the patches. It's that high fidelity work. So it is a little pricier for rFactor 2 DLC at about, I think it's $12 US roughly. But for me, Sebring's one of my favorite tracks, and I will recommend this track. I enjoy it a lot. And then the Endurance Pack DLC is a lot of fun, has a great variety of cars. You have 3 GTE cars, LMP1, or not LMP1, LMP2 and LMP3 cars. So it's a good field. I'm really struggling against the AI right now, but hey, it's fun. Let's see what kind of lap time we can get, though. We have turn 17 right there as you're going diagonal over these seams and just crossing over them weirdly. You can just really feel it. We might get past here. I'm not sure. Race room still is a thing. But they need to... So rFactor 2, they need to work on optimizations, though. Because you're seeing that kind of stuttering, it almost makes it look like it's lagging, and it just seems like CPU bottlenecking, and there's no way that my CPU should be a bottleneck. It's the i7-7700K. It's a very powerful CPU clocked at almost 5 gigahertz. So it should not be stuttering like this. And I didn't have the stuttering with GT3 yesterday with 25 cars. So I'm trying to keep that in mind too. Giuliano, yes, I'm really excited. If you guys have not heard yet, Assetto Corsa Competizione, the early access date has been revealed. It is going to be coming out September 12th. September 12th is when we will be able to get our first taste of ACC at our home. And it's going to include one car, one track. I forget exactly what car and what track, but it is going to include that. Also, big news, VR support is confirmed to be coming in October. So the October build will be when VR support is implemented. So it will not be implemented on the first release of early access, but it will be coming in October. So keep that in mind. So VR support is confirmed for ACC. And then I think the final release date roughly is going to be February 2019. They're trying to get it out in time for the for the start of the 2009 Blancpain Endurance Series. So hopefully that'll work well, but I'm going to make a video talking about it later on, and we will see how that goes. Whoa, drifting, and we lost it. And boom. That's going to hurt. So I'm going to take the DNF because the rFactor 2 community event starts in 5 minutes. So we are going to check in on that stream and join the event. So I want to check something though. Look at this replay. Watch my mistake. So let's look at the telemetry. I think I got to my braking point a little late. And remember, these cars have no ABS. So over these bumps, boom, I'm 100% on the brake. So I think it pitches in a bit under trail braking. And so it pitches the car in. And you can see I'm sliding. Fonsecker, hey man. Cool to see you in here. Big fan of your sound mods and stuff. Wait, Fonsecker, if I remember correctly, didn't you work on sounds for rFactor 2? Dennis, I'm going to be working on a series for SimuCube settings. Because I've been getting a lot of questions. The set, of course, rFactor 2, and then even Race Room, because Race Room is one of the trickiest titles. So, Fonsecker, that explains why the sounds in rFactor 2 have been getting better lately. Like, freaking love this 911 RSR sound. I mean, still, it's a little digitized in some parts, but the interior sounds great. Might need a little transmission whine. But boom. All things considered, the damage engine, that looked like a realistic wreck. I'm just saying that. I'm saying it looked like a kind of realistic wreck. If there was body deformation and stuff, yeah. So, John, this is a payword track. It is, I want to say it's like €9.90. 9 euros 90 cents or whatever cent thing it is in Europe. It's about 11.50 US dollars. So yeah, it is on the pricier side for a track, but for a laser scan circuit of this caliber, and you can just see how much effort they put in, that's why I'm supporting them in this. So Dennis, I will look into doing the video series shortly. I hope it does well. But also, hold on a second. I am going to check something real quick. Because there is a YouTube channel who already does have rFactor 2 settings. So let me check if I can find it. So one of my friends, he has a YouTube channel, and I'll send a link in the chat. Here you go. So if you click on that link, that is one of my friend's videos about making some OSW settings for rFactor 2. Because there are a couple settings you need to tweak in text files, so keep that in mind. So let me check something. We need to check the rFactor 2 stream. Let me see if I can find it. And that has the information for the event, I believe. But wow, I am impressed by the Sebring so far. Okay, so Twitch TV rFactor Live. Mute this. Our stream starts in 3 minutes. Okay. Let me see if they have information in the forums real quick. Because maybe in the forums they have the information on how to join in the stream. I'm not sure. But bottom line, we like this should be fun. I don't do too much online racing with rFactor 2, but I want to do more. I want to figure out how to optimize my firewall settings to be able to do online races in rFactor 2, like dedicated server stuff. Does any game besides iRacing have fully scanned tracks and cars? Assetto Corsa, the majority of their tracks are scanned. I don't think they scan the cars, though. I don't think they scan the cars, and only like maybe half the cars in rFactor 2, or not rFactor 2, in iRacing are scanned, so keep that in mind. Where is information on the community night? Or community racing? They are taking their sweet time making it public. Let's check something. So this is the server browser. And let's see. That's not it. Are we seeing anything regarding community night? Sebring. That's not the right Sebring. Let's see. Search community. Are we seeing anything? No. Sebring. S397 Event 1 and S397 Event 2. So it looks like they have the events made, but you need a password to get in. So where is the password? We'll find out in a minute. But I know this is very exciting, guys. We'll get back in the action shortly, and hopefully it works well. And hopefully we don't have too horrible ping connecting to a server in Europe. Because you know that can happen at times. But now it's like, I would play the Jeopardy theme song right now, but I would get copyright claims. So hold on a second. Stream starts in Vroom. Okay. Check the Twitch stream chat. That's right here. Your recommendation on a first upgraded wheel. I use the Thrustmaster TMX right now, but would like to know what a typical upgrade would be. Well, I'd say decent upgrade would be, say, like a Thrustmaster T300 RS or TX, because I don't know if you are using the wheel for Xbox use. If you are using if you're using the wheel for Xbox, then I'd say TX. If you're not, then maybe use like the T300 RS, or maybe say something like the TSPC Racer is a good use. TSPC Racer is good, but keep in mind that a few of those models don't come with pedals, so you would need to buy those separately. Recently, there was the Thrustmaster TGT for sale for $400 on Newegg in the United States, and that's a killer deal. I don't know if that's still going on right now. But yeah, I'm trying to keep the volume as low as possible because I don't know if I would get copyright claimed for the music or something, but we'll figure out shortly. Just gotta wait for the password. Good trailer, though, all things considered. Shows off the features well. Hold on.
It is time for Community Night number 2. My name is René Bottler. I'm the business manager at the studio, and you probably saw it already all over Twitter.
I'm friends with him on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Wherever you were watching, we actually just released Sebring, the big new laser scan track, to rFactor 2. So, bit of a coincidence it's the same day as Community Night. I don't think so. Obviously, it was on purpose so we can race with you guys on that brand new, very cool track right now and right here. I'm actually not muted. I'm just checking the Twitch chat this time, as always, just to make sure that everything runs perfectly fine. So what do we do tonight besides seeing me on the screen in front of my steering wheel? So we will obviously talk a bit about Sebring. We got Marcel Elfermans, the head of the studio. For that, he will tell us a bit about how we built the track, how accurate it is, why it is that cool, and why you should actually get the track immediately. So we'll have a small presentation for you guys so you can see some screenshots, some more info about how Sebring became what it is now in the game. You might saw some YouTube videos by your favorite content creators already. I had a bit of previous access to the track, so some of them were actually able to produce content already and to set it live. I saw some of it before heading into our own stream. But yeah, after we had that segment of us talking about Sebring, we'll obviously launch and go to one of our servers. We got 2 set up for you guys already. There will be the password in Twitch chat, and then we'll have some fun on Sebring, which means you probably should be or should
I
make
have
sure
the
that
box
your
for the
steering wheel is
password
set up
right
for
here.
all the bombs, and if you're using a direct drive wheel, don't get killed, because this is the most accurate virtual recreation of Sebring ever. It is the new track. It is crazy, really. I have to say that. You saw that maybe in our last community night where I did some laps on the track. I'm still as slow as last time, so to make sure that you not see me just being overtaken constantly, in our multi-class race tonight, I will race the Orica. So I figured out on the Orica I can't be the slowest because there's still GTE and GT3 cars. GTE and GT3 both got an update. GT3 are now on the same set of tires as GTE is, and they obviously now have ABS and
So should
traction
I do the
control in
Orca
car
and race
settings.
against
That
him,
means you
or
can change that
see if I
right
would
on your
just
wheel.
get
That's one
totally
of the
murdered
new
by him?
things in the latest updates. Besides a lot of performance improvements, small bug fixes, there should be a lot more FPS for you guys in there now. So that is pretty cool. And
I have
so
noticed the
big
improvements at
red
least.
button, Renee. Yes, I have that big red. I only see it red when I'm muted, so I know if there's something red in my eyes, then I'm actually muted. So that's not what I want to do. So just making sure that Marcel gets ready, because he obviously needs to tell us a bit more about.
Fabiano, I
the track.
did see that issue with
That would be good.
I
Because,
think it
he
was
is
RTA
more deeper into
Motorsports.
that than I am.
I
There's
think
lots
he
of
had the
stuff. I
broken
saw the
pin.
meshes and all that, how the track has been built. It's crazy, and it's way more complex. So I would say we give it to Marcel for him to actually explain to you how
Come
SimRacing
on,
comes
give us the
together.
password already. Now we just wait for Marcel to talk a bit. And where is he? But no, Fanatic, this is how you do a live stream, guys. We hear a mic.
Absolutely, Renee. So let me get started. I prepared a couple of slides for you with a little bit of a technical background to just give you a bit of insight into what we do when we build a track and laser scan it. It was actually the first time for us to do this, so we learned a lot while we were doing this, and we'll share some of those insights. So let me just kick off and get you guys started by introducing Sebring the track. I think Renee already mentioned that we have a couple of layouts for Sebring. And actually the full 12-hour layout appears twice in the track. First of all, we have a version that tries to mimic as close as possible what the track looks like, what the atmosphere is like during the 12 hours of Sebring event. A bit of detail, the laser scan that we made was actually made right before the 12-hour event of this year. So it should be really close. And we even tried to make sure that we put all the caravans and cars in about the same place as we saw during that event. So we have that version of the layout, and it's
So as current
really
as possible,
very populated
basically.
with all the fans flooding the area, I would say. So that really makes you feel like you're there during that event. We decided to also make the same layout, but on a sort of normal day, say track day version of the track. It's slightly different season as well. The grass is a bit greener. There's a few people there, but not the big crowds that are during the 12-hour event. So you can race both of those, and apart from that main layout, we have the two sort of somewhat smaller alternative layouts.
And we're buffering.
First of which
No,
is the Johnson Club layout. That's sort of the northern part of the track. It has a
the less
completely
bumpy
different
portion.
pit lane from the normal one. It's not really one with a lot of pit buildings and everything. It's just a stretch of asphalt, really, and a lot of parking spots for trailers and stuff. So it's a smaller layout. It doesn't have all the pit boxes that the big one has, but it's a great layout for somewhat smaller and slower cars. And it's also an interesting layout because it's probably the least bumpy of the three. We're sort of avoiding some of the most bumpy parts of the track in this configuration. So that's another one you can race, and then the final one is what they call the school layout. That's really just starting in the normal track and taking a shortcut somewhere halfway through. This is obviously also a track mostly suited for somewhat smaller, slower cars. But it
iRacing
is
uses
still
this
very bumpy, so I
configuration
wouldn't
with the
advise it
skip
in
arbors.
every car. Probably some really stiff open wheelers might be a bit tricky on this layout. So that's different layouts. Let me continue now with another feature that we mentioned. Just briefly want to explain it to you guys.
I'm excited about this part.
A while ago for rain, we introduced puddles so we can have really accurate placement of all the puddles. And we have that for Sebring as well, but we introduced another thing, which is called dirt maps. And dirt maps allows us to just visually make the track slightly more interesting by having a bit of dirt in typical places where the dirt would sort of build up over time. And when adding this feature, we really wanted to make sure that it was really easy for artists to implement. So what you're seeing here is a typical example of a dirt map. It's not the full one. It's cut out a little bit. But you basically have one big texture where you as an artist can really, from a top-down view, just draw all the little bits of dirt that you want to appear on the track. And once you save that in the correct format, it will actually show up and basically make your track look a little bit more alive. It adds a little bit of variation to that.
Slightly less exciting than I
So
was
it's not too hard
hoping.
to add also to existing tracks. So that's why there's probably an interesting feature, not just for Sebring, but also for the other tracks and maybe also third-party tracks. We'll be publishing a far more technical version of that in probably a couple of weeks from now, explaining exactly all the little bits and details. But yeah, let's get on to the actual laser scanning, because that's probably the technical part that you're most curious about. And well, since the track's out for almost an hour now already, I think some of you might have had a quick drive on it. So this track is laser scanned using a really accurate LiDAR setup. And what you see in some of the images here, and I'm sure the resolution of the stream makes it a little bit more difficult to see, but this is typically the point cloud that you get as a result from such a laser scan. So it's a really dense cloud of points that represents different points of the track and everything around it. So that's all the white and gray bits that you see, and overlaid on top of that,
I know this is slightly boring, guys, but hey, like, it's fun hearing about behind the scenes stuff.
Calculated from that, so we apply some filtering techniques to this point cloud, and then eventually we build our mesh that really closely fits all those individual points. And once we have this mesh, we can start actually building the polygons, putting the textures on it, and actually making it into a track that's attractive.
So I'm live streaming a live stream that's broadcasting a live stream.
So that's sort of
We're
step
3
one.
levels deep, guys. We're 3 levels deep.
And then just to give you a little bit of an insight into what that looks like,
streaming
the actual track mesh that you're driving
to Twitch, streaming
we
YouTube.
kind of overlaid the mesh that you see with these little blue points, which are actually just the edges of the vertices that we have on the track. As you can see, I mean, it's quite a dense cloud of points and vertices. So in terms of accuracy, you can see we can really model each little bump on the track and on the curbstones and even on the grass, because we thought it would be important for you to get the right feeling and get the right bumps, not just on the track, but also on all of the other drivable bits that you're probably trying to avoid. But well, we all know that that's not always working. So we modeled those parts as well, and really ended up that way with a high resolution mesh. Now the interesting thing is, I mean, some of you might have read techniques by others that do laser scans where you have a visible mesh that you actually see in game and an invisible mesh that you drive on. We've done it a little bit differently. We've actually just created a single mesh, and that's the mesh that you see, and it's also the mesh that you drive on. So I don't know, translating that into old word processor terms, what you see is what you get. So really the visual fidelity is the same as the physics fidelity that you have.
That's very interesting.
If I just take all these blue points away, you can again see, if you look especially from a low angle at the track, you will see all the little bumps and undulations and, well, the little
That is pretty remarkable, just thinking the way they implemented it compared to other titles.
Come alive. Of course, we link that to our real road system, so that also means that the real road is really accurate in terms of where rubber is deposited, etc. All of those things are still working normally, like they should.
Crazy seeing how bumpy that straight is, though, from that just static view.
Than some others have, but we're really pleased with the results, and it makes for not only a track that feels great to drive, but also a track that looks great to drive. So that combination really is what we're proud of. And of course, if you link that to our good force feedback and the really high frequency at which we run our physics, and especially our tire model, which runs at 2400.
Don't worry, guys. Hopefully, we should be driving again soon.
Good experience driving.
Let me just check some real quick.
Small bumps and cracks in the road. And that's really something I think you should experience for yourself. It's a great feeling. It's also a bit tricky because there are a few places at Sebring where you might actually lose the car if you're not aware of where these bumps are. But that's what the track is like in real life as well. So that's exciting to experience that. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to tell you guys about Sebring, about the track, about how we make it. Of course, there's a lot more to tell about that, but we didn't want to bore you during community night with a 2-hour presentation on the most inner details of laser scanning and modeling, etc. I'm sure we'll tell a little bit more over time on these topics, but I think for now,
someone, either
enough.
them,
and,
I got a Skype message.
I want to return the mic back to my dear colleague Renee, who will take over, and I think he will actually do some driving now, Renee, won't you?
At least I will try some driving. I mean, we all saw already that my driving is, without the practice, not really the best, but I will...
There we go. Whoops.
Yeah. Marcel, are you still with us?
Yep.
Great, so you can give me live driving tips, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Alright, so we will just quickly jump in-game so you guys can see one of the track layouts. So this is the Johnson Club. That's the one Marcel already talked about. A slightly smaller one. Unfortunately, I'm still in my Eureka, so... Eureka was the TV show, right? That's not the same. Definitely not the same. I like it because it's a really short way actually to get on the track. But since it's also my first lap on this...
Well, let's have him give us a tour, I guess.
Be easy. Well, I'll do my best to just get around. It's a great track for like USF cars. We talked about that previously before releasing. To bring smaller Formula cars onto this, or of course GT3 cars as well. LMP might be a bit quick. Had to brake very hard there to get around the corner. But this is, to my own luck, I have to say, this is not the track we'll race tonight, right, Marcel?
That's correct. I think we'll be racing the full layout later, as we expect a few more people to show up, so it might get a little bit cramped if we keep using this layout.
Just imagine, we could have like 40 people multi-class racing on this.
I mean, that would be great, right?
At least there's a lot of things to overtake then.
Well, yeah, I'll show up in a slower class so everybody actually has a chance to overtake somebody. But, should be fun. Yeah.
What will you race tonight?
I will go back to my good old Corvette for this evening.
GT3
So I'm
or
not-
Okay,
GT?
Marcel's using
No,
the
I'll do
Corvette.
the GTE. I mean, they're not super different. There's a little bit of difference. I mean, GTE has a bit more downforce and stuff.
See, he slides
Keep it
too.
on the black stuff, Renee.
So Brandon,
Yeah, I really
think
tried, but,
Renee, he is
you
using
decided to
the
make this
Fanatic
track that
CSL
bumpy,
Elite
which made my
with
job
the
a lot
McLaren
harder.
rim, and
Yeah, just
I'm just gonna assume
Soften the
Club Sport
suspension a
pedals.
bit.
That'd be my
and
guess.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. I mean, it's a great
Take
short
it
track.
easy.
Even with the Orica, I was a bit afraid of using that car here, but it doesn't feel bad. It's just a shorter, more action-packed version of Sebring. Then you've got straight enough so you can actually stretch your legs a bit with the car.
Absolutely. And, I mean, these cars are
So
still
Marcel
made for
just
specs.
entered, so
You can
I
set
don't
them up
think
properly,
they
and
gave
can
out
deal
the
with
password
bumps.
yet, though.
Probably
wish they
there
did.
are a few really stiff open wheelers that are a
I just
bit
wanna
more
drive
of a
against these
challenge
guys.
to drive here. But this layout is not the most bumpy part of the track, I would say. So this is probably the best place to take those cars.
Not the most bumpy part. That
Don't go to
that
first
moment you
gear
said
there,
it, I've
man.
nearly lost it. Just because it is that bumpy. Alright. I was just wondering if we actually jump to the next session so I can show the next layout.
Fabiano, or Fabiano, thank you for subscribing.
Or you want... No, give me a lap so I can watch you. Give me a lap.
I only have 18 seconds left, I think, or
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
No, 13
Okay,
seconds.
13
You won't
seconds.
make it.
Let's go to the next layout first. Then.
You probably won't make it. I know that you're fast, but I think
Not
not
that
that
fast. I might just make it out of the pits.
That is good. But I really hope for a lot of people joining us for the community race. So guys, if you're wondering like when is that happening, we'll just do a quick run through the layouts really. It's super quick. We're not doing anything on it besides doing 1 or 2 laps. And right after that, so we had Johnson first, this is school, and then we jump on the real one. I would say we open the server then, Marcel, and get people on it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Then can explore that together and see how that goes.
Yeah, we will use the
We'll
12-hour
be driving soon,
version,
guys, don't
means
worry.
there are a bit more polygons on it, a bit more people watching us driving. That's the important part.
Yeah, obviously people need to sort of cater for that, make sure their settings are suitable for, well, basically, I don't know, 30 to 40 cars if everybody shows up. But yeah, I think most people should have everything set up for that. I also think a little bit of...
Yeah, sorry. When we're talking about how many cars and all that, we might should a quick talk about the performance updates, because like even for me, and I know that a lot of people on Discord said that already, there are way more FPS to grab now. I tried like 40 AI today before the stream to check out if Sebring is running well and all that, and I didn't have any problems with FPS then. So it's really a good boost in a new update, right?
Interesting. They're saying no issues. I
Absolutely,
had that
yeah.
issue
And,
with
I
25
mean, it's a
AI
good boost
or 25
unless
Porsches.
you probably had turned off all the post-processing effects, because that's where we actually managed to create the improvement. We optimized how the post-processing effects work without making them look worse, obviously, because I don't think you'll see any difference compared to before. But by doing that, I think, managed to get about 20%.
Nicholas, thanks for subscribing.
It depends a lot on your actual configuration, while you should
He
have
just totally
gone
botched the
right
corner.
here, Renee.
Rest in
I'm
peace,
just
Cone.
Watching you.
Thank you. I nearly didn't notice. The problem
that's
was
why the
this was so small to go in there. I totally missed the breaking point. I was aware of being a right turn, but totally missed it.
I mean, I must have done that a couple of times as well. I was thinking about putting up these big neon signs, go right here, but...
Yeah, like arcade racing games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, surely we must be able to remember the layout of the track without doing that. So, yeah, I just...
They freaking made the track.
memorized
You
it
should
a little
remember
bit
the
better,
layout.
and now it hardly ever happens again.
I mean, due to it still being Sebring, it is easy to remember because you know all the parts, you saw them somewhere. It's just like that right turn obviously never happens in the 12-hour layout. Not in that way. So
Will he miss
not
the
really
corner
aware of it.
again? We will find out
Absolutely,
in
yeah,
a second.
that's a problem. And I mean, the cones at the end, you see them a little bit too late, right? By the time you see them, you've probably already missed your braking point. So here it's coming up again. And there are a little bit of extra cones on
It's
the
not
track.
this. It's the next one. God damn.
Yeah, yeah.
He missed
that's
it.
the other tricky part. There. There's more asphalt here.
Too
So
much.
you have to be a little bit careful when you turn in. Most places we have cones at the turn-in point and then at the apex, so you can use those as your guidance unless somebody else on the track manages to knock them over, of course. But yeah, that might be a help for you. Yeah, especially this next turn coming up here, Sunset Bend, that's so bumpy. And the first few times I lost it.
Oh, so freaking bumpy.
Go full
that
speed
turn.
over the bumps, really on the limit. Car steps out, front or back. You're never really sure which part will step out. And all of a sudden you find yourself hugging that concrete wall on the outside. And that's really a hard collision then. Not something you would want to experience in real life, that's for sure.
I like it. I was always I have to say that I was always a fan of shorter tracks, due to, like, if you do qualification on it, you know faster if you actually improved, instead of going around Nürburgring where it takes 7 minutes. And you know, back in the old LFS times, there were some short tracks. I really loved them. So having this as an option with the new Sebring, while still being laser scanned, I really think that's a great thing for leagues or servers that want to run slightly slower cars and smaller cars for more like club sport racing or lower level racing. I like it.
Tracks like this
Absolutely,
make me
yeah.
wish
Also, if
they
you're
had
just
the
with a
Mazda
couple of friends
MX-5
and
Cup
wanna
in
have a
this.
race on such
That would be a
small layout,
great car for
still
this
is a
track.
lot of fun, and you still see the other cars driving every now and then.
You're not even on the track. Come on. I want to see
I'm not
the
on the
TV.
track, I was just coaching you.
No, I
so
want to
to
see you
speak.
driving. Come on.
Okay, well, let's
Just
try
sitting
that.
there, just sitting there and giving me shit. It's not appropriate.
Let me warn you, I have this weird audio
I
setup,
like
so
the
I can
year
hear
and the
you very
winners.
well,
You can
but I
see.
don't
So
really hear my
first race
engine
was
too well, so
1952, I guess, for the 12
just making
hours. I'm
excuses
guessing.
right
Yeah.
away. Somehow
We
I've
learned that
already
in the
been
last
speeding in the pit lane.
in the
so-
last streams and all that, to like how to do that.
Oh, yeah,
As a sim racer,
I-
it's a big part of what you need to do. Come up with excuses.
I have a
You
whole
missed the
book
corner
of
too.
that. I
Yeah,
mean,
turn one
that's-
wasn't that much better than mine.
No, well, I didn't hit the cones, but that's about all.
Oh, we got a good light setting this time. Look at that.
Love the downshift
All the
sounds
planes
in
in the
this
background.
car.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff going on around the track. Also, if you look at some of the aerial views that we showed in some of the videos and screenshots, it's really a busy area, so to speak.
So the question
But
is,
fun.
should I race against
it is
Marcel
an old
or
World War
Rene?
II airport, right? Which is why
I think
the
Marcel
surface
might
is
be the
not
better
really
driver. So
what you would
I might
normally
stand up
expect
a
on the
chance
racetrack.
better
Even if
against
most
Rene.
racetracks are more bumpy than people that never went to a racetrack think about. But yeah, like Sebring is a special case.
It is, and I mean, in that sense, it's probably for us the best track to start out with laser scanning, because this is a track where you really experience all those bumps and try to make the turn.
Okay,
this
Johnny,
time.
I got your friend
Also,
request.
That
I
looked
will
good.
accept it later.
No,
So
the
it's
problem is
almost
seeing you in the
good,
GTE car now. I think like, oh, I really want to race a GTE car in this session.
Yeah, but you can't.
Why
'cause
not?
You have to beat everybody in the Orca.
Ah, yeah, true. This is too slow.
Otherwise, you'll
unfortunate.
be at the back with me. Yeah.
As if. I'm pretty sure you had more laps on Sebring than I had. All right. Do we want to
Yeah.
just jump on the next one and then reveal the server password so everyone
I
can jump
think
in?
that's a great idea. Yep. Let me just stop the car.
So I'm just
Yeah, park
going
it somewhere nice.
to
Yeah, this is a nice
open up
space.
the password box because it sounds like shortly we are going
Can I see
to
your parking
get
ticket, Marcel?
the password.
Actually, I got black flag by now.
No
Sure.
parking ticket.
for
That's
no
it.
parking ticket and for not doing the stop and go. Yeah.
Oh, you were too fast in pits.
I was too eager. Thought
You
I
see,
needed to
rules
catch up.
also apply to head of studios.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not like your title can save you, so it does not work like that.
I have no magic key, unfortunately.
I
No
voted.
fan boost.
You need to
no
vote as
boss
well.
boost,
Otherwise, you
no-
do admin.
Yeah, I'll vote. Okay.
When
Oh,
I did
Cloudy
AI
got
test
the
today,
Steam request. I'll
there was
accept it
a
later.
yellow flag because my AI driver crashed. Really, it was my AI, not me. He crashed, and then there was full course yellow, and it
Yeah.
said, "Please follow Olli Pakala." And I'm like, "Sure, he's only in front of me due to fan boost."
Right. Yeah.
We all know how he does
Okay,
that.
that's funny. If you
Should have told him
remember,
immediately, like, man, I saw that on Sebring.
so if you remember back last year,
I still
or
sort of
was it
feel
last year or
sorry
this
for him.
year,
I mean,
the
obviously he
Formula
immediately
E
was
event,
onto
Olli
it, but
Pakala
this
got
button didn't go off again.
disqualified from
Anyway,
the
I just feel I
Formula
just felt
E
sorry that
race,
they,
like the
marked him on
Vegas
media for, like,
the Visa Vegas E
wrong
race,
behavior or cheating. It's
and
like,
he
it
got
wasn't him.
disqualified
He
It
just
was a
because
mechanical
he
failure.
Yeah,
uh,
he just ran
had
that,
a
like, he
fan
didn't do
boost,
anything.
got stuck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
So
we
that
will
was
not,
the
we will
joke.
not repeat that in our championship.
No.
show. There will
Sorry.
be no Studio
Don't mean
397
to
boost.
be talking over them.
Can I
No,
have
let's-
one, please?
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
So once we
could-
get
you
the
could get
password,
me
we'll
that.
jump in and we'll turn off this stream.
I could. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Let's do that. All right, guys. Since we're loading in the track, I think we can also write down the password. Why are the servers password protected? That's pretty easy because otherwise, if one of us would leave while we do all the preparation, we probably can't get back because it's full. We want to make sure that people on it are actually the ones here with us in the community night. So if you want to race, then you need to come over here. Obviously, it's twitch.tv/rFactorLive in case you're on Facebook Live. You can hop on over here. But the password like tonight, is super simple. I will write it down even if it is that
Okay,
simple.
let's hurry.
Because it's like Christopher really did a great job in terms of password. He ran with the only password I can remember, and that is
Pizza. Okay.
And it's
What?
a universal word, right?
Package
Everybody
not
knows pizza.
available.
It works in nearly
Shoot.
every language, and I can remember it. So I really love Christopher for doing so. go run with pizza.
Shoot. Okay,
Easy.
I think I know
Done.
the issue.
I know that Devin tried
dang it.
tried to guess the password like he did last time
Hold
when we
on.
went into community.
Right.
I know the problem.
But yeah,
so
that's not how it works. Password.
Shoot.
Server,
We need to go into my
pizza. Do you have
inventory.
Facebook open? Could you-
Because Studio 397,
Post it
they
on Facebook.
sent me a version of
No, it's not
Sebring
pizza.
pre-release, so we need to
Don't have-
You don't have
subscribe.
that, then I'll do
At
it.
the moment. No,
Give me a
I'm-
second.
Yeah.
So we are gonna
I
have
will
to
do
close
so
out
we
of
get
rFactor
people onto the
2.
server racing with us.
Shoot. Come on, hurry up.
meantime,
It's
I'm
broken. Package
quickly
not
going
available.
to-
What did you do to it?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't
It
do
wasn't
anything.
me. No.
It wasn't me. It was from Shaggy. So
Okay. Yeah.
That's,
Oh boy.
that's not what we're looking for right
Fair
now.
enough. Fair enough.
So let's see.
I'm quickly switching headsets, Renee. Back in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So it looks like other people are having the issue too. It's not just
Guys,
me.
don't worry. Don't worry. We will get all of that
I'm
done.
worried. Too late, Renee.
My goodness.
I'm worried. I am very worried right now.
Message them. We'll set it up new. Pizza has not been eaten. No, we're not done yet. No pizza has been eaten yet. I have to say, it was probably not the best decision. Like, I had to put on the lights so you
Synchronizing with
guys
Steam
can actually
Workshop.
see me, like the TV lights. But it's also way over 30 degrees in Germany. And with those lights, I'm really melting right now. So if you see me becoming
30 degrees in
smaller
Germany is
throughout the
like,
race,
I think 80
it's
degrees
not
in the
because I'm
US.
so ashamed of my driving, it's because it's so hot. Alright? It's not the same.
Sebring. It is
I
S397
messaged
event
Christopher
1.
real quick
Pizza
about the package
just
not
entered
available,
in.
or do you look into it, Mars?
Package not available. Dang.
I need to quickly check with him. I think if more people are getting this, we might have to quickly reconfigure the server.
Yeah, I think everyone is getting it
Ah,
because
yeah,
otherwise we get
everybody's
people on
getting
it. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's
Yeah.
not a problem. guys. We can handle that. We can handle that. I'll quickly
Yeah.
leave the server so nothing happens. Which also means I could actually choose a new car.
Uh-oh.
But then, yeah, I would be slow.
So yeah, they need to improve the multiplayer. They need to fix this
I'm
functionality.
Not so sure.
Because
Yeah, there's something wrong with the
It's like
free
this
mod.
makes
I
it
think
so
we might have
complicated.
accidentally
I would
put
just
the
love
wrong
to see this
version on the
refined a little
server,
more.
which gives you this nice error message.
Alright. Guys, while we're still here, we can talk about other stuff. For example, you might saw on the roadmap we actually announced some of the events we will be on, or be at. So, who of you guys is going to Sim Racing Expo, for example? Like, I know that it actually became quite big. I saw it the last 2 years. Last year I spoke on the esports panel there. So, are you guys coming to Sim Racing Expo? Are you guys experience the Nordschleife? Will it be your first time at Nordschleife? Or have you been there more often because you live right next to it or whatever? I mean, I live kinda right next to it, but still I don't visit it every month or so. Because I don't have time. Devin brings his N64 controller once again to show me that he's quicker on a controller. I don't know why he wants to embarrass me that hard every single time. That's not nice. What wheelbase is that? You mean that one or this one? Like, this one currently is the new CSL Elite PS4 latest revision. So it has the Club Sport internals, but it uses the plastic exterior. But it's also capable of doing
let's hope
PlayStation.
it's gonna be back
And that's
up in a
obviously
couple minutes.
The slightly older version 1.5 Club Sport.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Chris is probably having dinner.
Come on, guys.
You
And
wanted to
still
eat
not as
before he dives into the
awkward
race.
as the
Copy that.
Fnatic live stream.
So it might be that. What's wrong with socks? I see VR mode and then someone asked for socks. I have socks on, yes. Don't worry. The smell is still okay, even if it gets super hot in here. He's probably eating pizza. Yeah, maybe that's why he has chosen that password. I mean, it would make sense, right? Go for pizza because that's what it is. I really hope to see some specific guys in tonight's race. I know that T-Backed, I think that should be his YouTube channel name, wanted to say hi in the races. I know that William Marsh wanted to come around. I just hopped on his stream right before our stream. Since he was showing the track already. Real men use barefoot or shoes. No. I mean, yes.
That's
I can
funny.
race with
Just got a
shoes,
shout out
but I
from
forgot
Studio
to put them in the
397.
room, so
Yeah.
right now, I can't. I mean, I don't want to leave you guys just to get my shoes and then get back. That wouldn't be that good. Oh, he's here. Look at that. SimRacingPaddock. There you go. So, he will race with us, which means there will be a lot of quick people, which means I should stick to the Orica unless no one else is driving the Orica.
Wow,
I
did
don't
he
really
just call
want
me
to
quick?
win a class where there's no one else.
And look, this is getting pretty meta
You
right
just
now.
joined. So
88
we
mile
went
per hour
through
Tim.
How Sebring was created and all
That's
that, and now
funny.
we're getting ready
So
to get
Tim
people on the server and
Wheatley is
actually
in the
have a race
house.
on the new
He's
Sebring track.
part of Studio
We will
397 as
open the
well, I
classes
think,
GT3
still.
and the whole endurance pack, which
So
means you
yeah,
can choose
this is
LMP2,
like getting
LMP3,
meta.
GT,
I'm in Studio
and
397
GT3,
stream, Studio
which
397's in
gives us
mine.
a nice variety. My Little Pony shoes. No, are there My Little Pony shoes? You could give them to me on Sim Racing Expo, right, man? There you got it. You can't join if you don't own the GT3 pack. No, I'm sorry.
So basically, you have to own all the packs to join. Okay.
What does a business manager do?
Let's try jumping in again.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Pizza.
Great. You know, tax office asked the same.
Wait,
I guess that
Studio
really depends on where you work at.
397.
I would say so. With like many titles. I mean,
Okay, they
obviously,
pulled off the event,
community
so
night
they must be
streaming is
working
part
on
of
them
it
right now.
if you work at Studio 397. Other than that, I work with
Uh,
Dom on
Gerald,
licensing for cars and tracks.
It is
to make
in
sure
the
that you
Steam
guys
store. Let
actually
me
get new
grab the link
content,
for
so
you
that's
real quick,
content planning,
and I'll
when,
put it
where,
into
how,
the
and how we
description
get
for
it,
the stream.
all the deals around the simulation itself. So how do we get cars and licenses? Which events we attend, how we do that, bit of championship and activation stuff. So nearly
let's
everything
see.
that
Shop available
represents the
items.
game outside of code, I would say.
Sebring
was that?
International
That
Raceway.
close? Since social media is
Yeah.
also in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we tried new programming. That didn't work too well, right?
Wow. The last time I coded something was probably basic. You know, in school when you do that the first time, you need to do this hello world thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah.
I did basic. My dad is a programmer, so I did basic when I was younger, and in school we did HTML, obviously. But that's
Yeah,
it.
that's not a programming language. So
Yeah, so no, I can't help you on
At
that.
least in my books.
Yeah,
So that's not what you.
So let's
do
see if
on a
it
daily
saves
basis.
changes.
Because it doesn't say
Please,
development,
please,
my friend.
please. All
No.
changes saved. So
It's that
yeah,
simple.
links also in description now.
Does head of studio then mean you're basically nothing more than the head in front of the ship? Not doing
Yeah,
anything?
I'm
Throwing
exactly.
shade
I'm
right
the
now.
That you can
Oof.
beat up whenever something's wrong. I will gladly take the punches.
This is getting
Oh,
funny
Do
now.
something about it.
Look here, Eddie asks, is there time for technical questions about the update? Yes.
It is.
Shoot
it
them
is.
right now.
Let's take a look at the servers again, see if it's back.
Oh yeah, my dad is in the stream. He says Lego Mindstorms. Yeah, I also did that. I'm not sure if that counts as coding. Probably not.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yay!
It involves some logic and decision making and stuff like that.
Decision making, thank you. That's why we stream on Facebook and Twitch tonight, because I'm really bad at decision making, so I was like, guess what?
Yeah, why do we
Do it
stream?
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Easy. Is the new Stabilize Horizon setting independent of the head physics and head vibration sliders? Will Stabilize Horizon work as intended with head physics and vibration zeroed out?
To start with that last question, yes. So it's not
I'll have to test out
dependent
that
on
setting
head physics.
in the
I mean, obviously, head physics is what makes your
because I haven't tested that
head
out yet.
bounce up and down in the car a bit, right? We're trying to emulate how a human head is attached to the human torso, and there's this neck in between, and it's not made out of steel for most people, so it has a little bit of a springy effect. So that's what we're trying to simulate with that. But the Stabilize Horizon feature sort of works on top of that and tries to mellow out those bumps. It doesn't try to
I'll try that
completely take
when
them
I'm
away,
driving
but
next.
try to set it
We'll
up
give
in
that
such a
a
way that
go.
we have a couple of different levels where hopefully everybody has a level that works well for them. And other people might not like it at all, so it's also still an option. Actually, by default, it's still off. You have to turn it on. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it
we've
looks like
ran it through
that there are quite a
lot
few
of,
Sebring
different
servers. It's
testers
just
with
not the
different
official
headsets, 'cause
server.
mainly people with VR are running into this issue that the horizon starts jumping up and down a lot and it makes them feel uncomfortable in VR. So yeah, you can experiment with that setting a little bit more to
Kind of funny. I have the
dampen
crown.
that out.
Twitch Prime.
Now, if you
Comes
still
with
don't
Amazon
like it,
Prime.
let us know. We'll see if we can tweak it a little bit more. But so far, our testers were pretty happy with the settings we had. So more questions coming in, I think.
Yeah, I'm currently looking at it. Someone asked, like,
Yeah.
when do we see the update for Zenford? I know that's one of the bigger questions.
So yeah, I mean, that's a little bit hard to tell because it's something that's moving along slowly, which is due to the fact that the guy working on it has a lot of other things to do as well. So he's not able to full-time work on this. That said, I have seen a version of Zandvoort a couple of days ago that's almost done. We're really at the final phases. Final phases for us are always training the AI, making sure the anti-cut locations are correctly dealt with and stuff like that. That's always the last step in the process. And I think we're ready to start that step next week. Now it always depends a little bit on what other feedback we get from
Hey,
testers, whether
Norman, nice to see you
everything's
in
really done
here.
or
We are waiting
whether
for
it
the
is still
servers to
something
open up.
that needs to be fixed. And just reading along in the chat, Richard Hessels is indeed the guy building Zandvoort for us. That's correct. Yeah. So I hope within a couple of weeks, but yeah, can never really tell.
Not sure.
I think we need a laser scan
I just saw
Nürburgring
some
as well
questions
for
popping up,
24-hour
obviously, about
Nürburgring.
the UI progress.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I know you
Oh
love it.
boy.
Well, now
And
we get a
everyone's
lot
been
of
wondering about
questions
it, so I'm gonna
that.
shut up.
That's basically because it's taking us a long time. Everybody knows it's a long time, and we kind of agree with that. There's no getting around that, I'm afraid. I would say in terms of basic features, we're now at a point where we have everything that's in the current UI covered. We also added a few tweaks and optimizations here and there. I mean, you've all seen some of the screenshots what we did. For example, with the live track map view when you're in a session, stuff like that. That's stuff that we're still tweaking a little bit, updated scoring displays. So all of that is getting in and getting tweaked and optimized at the moment. There's still a few other things just around that we want to do. And we're also still working on another big part where we get a lot of questions about the competition infrastructure. And that really is an area where we're now trying to figure out for ourselves what makes sense. Do we first release the UI? Do we release the UI with the competition stuff? Do we even swap it the other way around? And quite frankly, we haven't made a final decision on that yet. And that's why we've kept quiet on a release date, because it kind of depends on those decisions. And yeah, we're not ready to make them at this point. We're still discussing that. So that's the best and most honest update I can give on that topic.
Mistyped typos.
Right, on to the next
I'm still
one,
human.
I guess. Let's go for Robert first. Any new shaders being developed at the moment? Any graphical improvements planned in the near future?
So ACR Zach Speed, that's the team that Sean Cole races for at times.
Related, but
Stick with the shaders then.
Yeah, I'll stick with the shaders.
That's
the easy one. Yes, we're definitely working on shaders. I mean, that's an area that you can probably keep improving, and we're doing that. We're quite early in that process, so there's not much I can share in terms of
take a look and
whether or not
see
those shaders
if server's
actually
up
make
yet.
a difference. But obviously, that's the goal.
It is.
And yeah, graphics improvements. I mean, you've seen we've released a few with this latest code build. We'll probably keep trying to further optimize all the graphics we have and the different aspects. I hope that you agree that we're getting better at it, and frame rate is improving up to a point where we've gone beyond what the original DX9 engine did. Seems a long time ago, by the way. But yeah, that's something we'll definitely
Giving you a shout out, Norman.
Keep doing. So we're working on some shaders. That's all the details I can give on that at the moment. Yeah.
Just seeing what updates did the endurance pack get. I know that the LMP cars received the aerodynamics and telemetry update, right? That was in this build as well.
That was in this build. We did more tire tweaks, and I think about next week we'll publish a more in-depth blog on our collaboration with Duquesne Engineering, who helped us out a lot with these tires. So we'll give a little bit more background on the exact changes there and how the process works. But it's tires, and due to the tire upgrades, we also did a few really minor physics tweaks, also to ensure balance of performance was good.
Just saying, Norman from my live stream asked, are there plans to bring more F1 cars into RF2? What is F1? Never heard about it. Let me Google that real quick.
The answer is modern F1 cars or F1 cars. There's definitely more F1 cars coming.
And then we would need to define what is modern and what isn't, but...
Yeah.
They're just playing coy right
means now that they have Halo. Which means everything else before that is not modern.
Yeah. That would be really, really modern.
But, yeah. Or you could go for the like when they became hybrids. It's another thingy.
Yeah.
What do we have in here? Someone was asking, compared to a normal tracks that were done before, how
they just totally played coy.
Sebring, like 2 times, 1.25, 5 times.
That's a good one, because I mean, there were 2 things we needed to do, right?
That was
First
funny.
of all was figure out for ourselves how we could best do laser scanning. Just talked a little bit about that. And we ended
We'll
up
see what
doing
happens,
it slightly
but that
differently
was
from
interesting
how
response.
some of the other simulations do it. So part of the time we took was preparation for that. Always hard to exactly figure out how long that took, but I mean, we announced Sebring, I think, roughly at the beginning of the year. So let's say we spent about half a year on it, and that's both the research part, the actual building, and getting all the licensing stuff done. How much longer is that than a normal track? I would say maybe 1.5 the normal time, as a rough guess.
I'm just currently reading through it because I wait for Christopher to set live the server so we can all go racing. But what's in here? Are you reinstalling Windows? No. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a stream anymore. We start installing Windows.
That was the longest answer to play coy about F1 cars
never
ever.
Be back, probably. License super trucks when? I'm pretty sure that's a no for now.
No, nothing's planned in that area at the moment, to be honest.
I know, Gerard.
Before that happens,
it was
I
just
get my
funny.
private cars in the game.
Yeah.
But that's a deal now, Marcel. So if you ever plan to do super trucks, I will get you the license for my own cars first, and then you need to do them. Any experiments done on sound design? Can we hope for sound filters for cars environment?
Let's refresh real quick.
That's a good question. To be honest, I'm not really a good person for answering that.
Still not there.
Well, I obviously can hear sound, but I'm not an expert at engineering these sounds for cars. I think Fonseca in the stream actually knows a bit more about that stuff. I don't know if he can give an answer on this topic, but I would have to ask him.
That's all right.
I'm putting him on the spot a bit, so we can take that offline and answer it another time. But yeah.
Will the Boxmaster get some updates? I know that that will be asked every single time.
The Boxmaster.
No, we don't need to talk about that.
I should do a lap around the Nordschleife with that.
Someone asked for the resolution for the laser scan Sebring tracks. But there was also another question I'm currently looking for. Yeah, not waiting 6 months for tracks. That's Mario's. I can tell you that even if the guys would work super quick, and just, I mean, you can't just take what they did on Sebring and now say, oh, they must be quick on every other track. Because every
S397 Event 2 is up.
But you also have to keep in mind that there's licensing, and even if you have the license, there's some more to it, and then in the end there's still approval. So even if we could do a track in just 4 weeks, we could never even release it in 4 weeks. Because probably getting the license takes longer than creating the track sometimes.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure that's the
Event
case.
1's up.
Absolutely,
Pizza?
that's an important factor. So
We got
I
it!
would probably
Okay.
say the only way for us to speed up is to actually hire more track teams and do more of them in parallel. That's obviously something we can do. And if we had infinite money, we would be building all of the tracks at once.
And
But we
have
have
the
to
license.
balance that, obviously. Yeah.
It's like it's not that easy.
Yeah. Exactly, SimRacingPaddock. I was just gonna say, Event 2 is up, and I think it's working.
Yeah, I'm verifying new because it told me for Event 1 that I don't have the right package.
Okay,
So
so...
You should be going to Event 2.
I think
Oh,
so.
Event 2?
Yeah.
Just so that I have a chance to crash into you.
Well, I think so because Chris tells me we should take Event 2.
Alright, password guys is still pizza.
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 So let's jump into Event
Pizza,
2.
Pizza.
Because we want to drive with them. P
Why are you not working on
I-Z-Z-A.
tire model at Renovatio? Because I'm not a coder. That's why I will never work on new tire models.
Oh, I have caps
Because if
lock,
I would
that's
do
why.
tires, I'm pretty sure
Ah,
that
I'm
would
an
be
idiot.
the worst sim racing game ever.
There we go.
Back to the Stone Ages, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I could do that. I could do like we go back to Z Modeler and I just do like a really box-shaped tire,
Yeah.
and then
You
I do
could
tire
make
physics
the-
too.
Build the Flintstone car.
Yeah,
You could probably do that.
you see,
That
that's
should
my,
be
that's my
fun.
new project at the studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get the
boy.
first Flintstone car in. But then you need to simulate the
Okay,
different
so...
feet speed of different players.
Orica
oh,
or
wait,
Corvette, guys.
it will be a
Orica
VR
or
game.
Corvette?
Hardware.
Let's get a
We
quick
need new
vote.
hardware
No, it's
for
VR.
that.
It's
Yeah.
basically Sprint Vector, which is a
Right.
VR game. So you can do that.
Um,
So SimRacingPaddock is heading onto the server. That is great. I will also have a quick look at my server list now. Oh, it went to 0%, so it actually...
let's do
changed something.
GTE.
Might
But
need to
while we do
refresh it.
so, I think we will quickly show the trailer, because we didn't show the Sebring trailer yet.
We didn't. Ah,
Yeah, I will do.
Hold
I
on.
will do that, and then we'll get back to you guys as soon as we're in the server. Password is pizza. Don't miss that. Obviously, we can answer some more questions during the race.
Sorry. I know they're exciting, but we're finally getting on track. Okay, guys, we're in the vet. And let's just adjust that. That should work fine, I think. Finally, silence. But hey, they were talking about some good stuff, guys. It's fun hearing behind the scenes of some of the titles we get to drive. But now we get to wreck them. Whoa, that orca is floating. Gotta love having servers load. Marcel Offermans, he's in. There we go. Fonsecker. So 5 minutes for qualifying.
Data logging disabled.
Okay, degrees of rotation's good. Let's hit the track. Gonna have to turn down the volume a little bit. Might need to turn down a little more. There we go. Oh, wait. I'm so used to the normal pit exit point and stop and go, dang it. And I think we had to fulfill it. That sucks. Okay. Do you prefer me having the names there, or would you like me to turn off the names? Random thought. So you can see like who I'm racing with. American muscle. Little lock up there. That traction control is pretty strong. Let's turn it down to 3. I want to say that's the LMP3, the Norma ahead of me, I think. Or is that the Radical? It might be the Radical. And this is GTE, that's GT3, so we should catch it, I think. There we go. We're in the slipstream. I think sounds for this car are a little on the weaker side. It sounds a little digitized, especially towards the higher end. Here we go on the throttle. We're in the slipstream. So we gotta take this freaking stop and go, though. Oh, I love that feeling on turn 17. Little ping. So, hold on. Ten seconds. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Looks like Marcel got hit with the stop and go too, so he might be used to old exit point too. If they could add true 5.1 surround, it would be awesome. I thought they did have support for surround. There we go. That's a proper pit exit point. So I guess they changed it over the years. So we have, we might not be able to get a lap in. I just realized. That might suck. We'll see. The qualifying might be just still too short. There we go. Looks like 22 cars, or 22 people in the server right now. Good turnout. Another GTE ahead of me, I think. I don't think that's a GT3. He totally botched the corner, and I followed. Jefferson, yes. It's my favorite sim racing title. I love the feel of it, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. How recent's the scan data? They scanned it in March 2018. So, yeah, it's they scanned it right before the 12 hours of Sebring this year, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. But think about how quick that turnaround is, though. Just think about that. They scanned the track in March, and it's 4 months later. So we're going to get one chance at a lap. Whoa! Shoot, shoot. We were a little late. Gotta be careful on the brakes with this car. Turn in. Please let me finish this lap. Okay, lock the right front up a bit. This track is so bumpy, I am legitimately feeling it in my arms. Driving this track with a direct drive wheel is no joke.
Data logging disabled.
No! What the no! What happened? No! Ah! Switching to next session. Come on, let me finish the lap! Oh, they restarted the session. Okay, they restarted the session.
Data logging disabled.
I can understand that. I wanted to get a lap in, and we'll get a lap in. Okay, that's nice. Oh, shoot. Sorry! I think I just hit Marcel. Okay, we're good. We're good. We had a decent lap going, though. So this car actually likes a bit of trail braking. That's nice. Let's see if I can build up a gap on this car behind me. So you want to get a good lap in, which means also get a good out lap to get heat in the tires. Braked a little early there, to be honest. But that scared me. I thought the game crashed for a minute. Whoever's behind me is legitimately quick, at least. Renee Butler has entered. Okay. Party's over, guys. This is such a tricky turn. Guy behind me took it way wide. So look how much of a gap we just built. Frame rate's really solid, Jim. It really is. Might have apexed a little early there. Get on the throttle. Boom. Clip the grass there. Not good. So let's see what kind of lap we can put down. I don't use VR for streaming because it takes up more system resources and it just is less convenient for streaming. For live streaming, VR is very inconvenient. It doesn't really allow me to check the chat and things like that. So that's why. Cooked it a little deep there. Oh, I missed the apex. Not good. Looks like that's an LMP2 car behind me or something. Just not loading properly. Oh, this is gonna be ugly. We got through it relatively okay. But yeah, there must be a mismatch or something. We're okay though. But on my own time, I sometimes will use VR. It's definitely one of the more immersive experiences, but I quickly get kind of sweaty with VR, and screens, it's easy to just pick up and play. So for VR, in my leisure driving, I really enjoy. For live streaming and production, I tend to stick with screens. So we're going to see me drop down because this is overall leaderboards. So it's overall leaderboards. So we're going to see me drop down. I wish rFactor 2 had a feature to show position in class. That's what they really need. Because this is just positions overall, not in class. It's just overall. So you see just really mixed up. They need an ability to filter it like in iRacing. But it looks like we're pretty quick, all things considered. But yeah, this new version of Sebring is a lot tighter than the other versions. I think that's just with the track evolving over the years and stuff. They also need to make this delta bar work better, I think. Felmarin. I've never thought it's the best sim. It's one of the best for online racing, definitely. It's one of the most refined ecosystems. In my opinion, I think iRacing's a little bit like Apple. It's a little it is pricey for what you get. It is a little behind in the technical prowess compared to other sim racing titles. That is, like, I don't think you can even argue it. I think it's just fact. But the way they package it, the way it's all delivered to everyone is really good. It really works well. It's refined. rFactor 2 is my favorite sim racing title. It has the ability to provide a very authentic, believable experience. That I wholeheartedly put my name behind. But it's the little things that put it behind. It's the flaws in the little stuff. It's this yellow car right here. We're driving with all official content, but for some reason there is a mismatch that is causing an issue. There's things like that. And that's what causes problems. It's this freeze up when I hit escape that's gonna take a few seconds before we enter the menu, I think. Or let's see. Yeah, took a few seconds to get back to the menu. It's very unrefined right now. They need to refine it a little more and make it that little bit more refined. And then I would feel a lot more comfortable just saying, yeah, it's awesome. So let's drop the gallons down a bit. Actually, no, we don't have enough time, so we might be stuck here. But yeah, rFactor 2 in terms of sheer power, it's awesome. I freaking love it. But it's the little stuff that causes the issues. It's the little gremlins that just chip a little bit off. It chips a little bit off. You have to tinker with it a lot more. You have to spend a lot more time tinkering with it. iRacing, it's a lot more refined. It's a little more polished. It allows you to really, really just be able to, what's the term? Just not worry about issues, hiccups, and stuff. Just race. It's like, But I freaking love rFactor 2. That's why I put my name behind it and everything. But they need to refine it a little further. They need to really polish it up. For example, we're seeing no distinction in this standing screen between class. So we'd have to look at it. GTE, GTE, GTE. So we're obviously not the fastest GTE, and I'm guessing they had it set for race trim, or qualifying trim. But we should do well, I think. So I think as we get through, we'll work better and better. So there's GT3 accidentally wrecking a GTE, and ooh, in the wall. Click expand in timing. Okay. GTE. Okay, thank you. But I wish there was an indicator that showed a little easier. But expand, that's nice at least. At least we have that. Race settings. So it's a 10-minute race? Okay. So 10 minutes. We were clocking about 2 minutes. So let's 5.3 gallons should be fine. General, let's see what tire compound we're using. We're using mediums. I think we can get away with soft. Let's put a little rear downforce back in. But yeah, so yeah, it's nice seeing this screen. I wish they had a little more of that in the main screen, though. Like, having to dive in to check the differences between classes, it's like, eh. But hearing that stuttering there, it's like, what's going on? So, Mark. Something's going weird with his internet. Other systems work better. I have no clue what you mean by that, Norman. Mixed compounds front and rear? I thought I mixed soft and soft. So we're good. Just have to wait for next session. Fake one, real talent. Nick Tandy, the real driver, just a fanboy. That's funny. I think, yeah, there's just a lot more potential to put stuff in here. Wait, there's a Kenny here? Where's Kenny? But this is a huge GTE field.
Data disabled.
Let's hope for the best, guys. Hope for the best, brace for the worst. 16 out of 33. We who are about to drive salute you. That's how it goes, right? There's a formation lap. I'm right behind Marcel Offermans, the head of Studio 397. I'm right behind him. This should be interesting. Fueled up? Yes, I am. I should stay in high gear, so... But it's cool that it has the blue indicator for the car you need to be behind. Give Marcel a bump. I don't know if that would be smart. We'll see. I might get a message from him after the stream or something. Okay, there's a bump. But I think we're going to be cutting it close on fuel, so we need to be a little careful. I know he's laid back. I talk to him pretty often on Facebook. Great guy. But yeah, Marcel was the one who gave me this track, so I'm thankful for that. That doesn't mean I'm going to let him beat me. Because we're only a couple tenths off. So I'll do the timing screen. Oh! Big wreck in the back. Big wreck in the back. Don't know what happened there, but maybe trying to heat up tires, something like that. Take it easy and turn. This turn, very bumpy. Whoa. Just heard some more. 10 minutes. And going on the inside to pass Marcel. Big wreck, turn one. Okay, we're good. We're good. 2 cars. Yeah, we didn't have our car set up properly for qualifying. That's why we qualified a little further back. That's the BMW M8 GT3 car, or no, GTE, in front of us, in front of the Porsche. Let's try getting on, no, BMW spun, okay. We're up to 10th place overall, that's nice. So I'm guessing that's like 6th in class, because I want to say there's a few LMPs. I'd love to get a top 5 in class though. Oh, a little oversteer. Yeah, I have one Porsche behind me. Keep that in mind. I might need to stay in 3rd gear for that corner. Gotta be careful. Turn 17 and dive in. Whoa. Very unsettled. Very unsettling. On the throttle. Get the drive off. There we go. And we're about a 1.5 seconds above our 11th place. Thank you, whoever it is who subscribed. Marcelo, thank you. Ooh, little ping, maybe CPU. On the inside, on the throttle, use a low on torque, and boom, made the pass. Up to 9th. Oh, that's an LMP2 car. We should either get a blue flag or no, it's 4th position overall, so he just didn't qualify. I'm just letting him by. Little grass there. Matthias. Now we're 10th overall again. Just take it easy. Oh, Matthias is around. And that's another LMP car behind us. So let's try us in 3rd. So this turn 16, I think, has less runoff. Solojutsu, I am loving this version. It's very difficult, but I am loving it. Oh my gosh, that is some ping. Did he just hit the wall? I think he might just hit the wall. I don't know. Ping is the weird beast. Trail brake a little bit. Get the car through the corner. This is the bumpiest version of Sebring you will ever drive, though. Really is. Oh! Oh! Big wreck! Big wreck! Barrel rolls! Man! That would be a full course caution in real life. That was massive! We might need to bump up the traction control a little bit up to 5. Yeah, this is much bumpier than iRacing. iRacing's version is based off of, I think, 2000, somewhere between 2008 and 2010. This is based off of 2008 scan data. They scanned this in March 2018. And think about this track is 8 years older now. Gonna let him by. Please don't force me too wide, T-Hart. I don't know if that's engine smoke or tire smoke from him. Whoa! That curve nearly cost me the spin. I think that's engine smoke. Just the way it's coming out of the center of the car. And D-Hart spins again. Okay. Okay, battle for position. Had a little better runoff. I'm not clear yet. He's going to get a better drive off, though. I did not get a good line there. Oh, never mind. He ran wide. Triple performance. I haven't driven with triples yet, but single screen, it's a lot more stable. I needed, or basically my right monitor died, so I don't even have 3 monitors on this rig right now. Let's turn down traction control to 4. Fonseca has quit. Little wide. And that Porsche behind me also ran wide. Planning a VR episode, maybe in the near future. I'll try to figure something out. Getting close. Let's see how much time we have left. Oh, we ran wide. No! No! That hurt. That hurt a bit. Press F to pay respects, I guess. I was trying to see how much time we had left. We have 1 minute left. I don't know if I can make the move on Marcel, though. He might have the spot above me. It wasn't too loose. I just botched the corner. Again, the lockup. Let's regain our composure. Because odds are we're going to have one more lap before the end. And I think we have some minor suspension damage. So we can only hope that we have one more lap. Please, please, please. And low fuel. Let's hope we have enough fuel. One more lap, okay. Now I'm just hoping we had enough fuel in the tank. Oh man, that McLaren almost took us out. Or it's on ice, Sebring. My tire just really fell off, I think. Oh, there's a wreck. Pushing the issue. I couldn't get on the throttle. Come on. Ah! Oh, wow. I didn't touch him, but he spun. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, I just overcooked it, spun it, and he spun it a little worse. Just need to ease it through this final corner. Yeah, we get 9th overall. Oh man, what a race! Oh, that was so much fun! Yeah! Spun once, but Actually, we'll call it twice. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wait, Renee Butler? He finished 10th? I thought he was in Norca. Wow, okay. Excuse me. Hold on. The pass is pizza, lowercase. We are in the Studio 397 Session 2. So let's take a look at this replay. Because I want to see what I did with Marcel there. So we are seeing some stuttering. So here... I was trying to see the move. Hold on a second. Oh man, that was so much fun. I'm excited for next race. Saljitsu, yeah. A lot of older names. But hey, oldies but goodies. But that was a good run. Hold on. I didn't hit Marcel. He spun and I spun at the same time. Oh, Renee Butler was in that big crash. That explains it. Hold on. Now we just have to wait for the server to populate, I guess. Solojutsu, yes. And I'd say I prefer the GT3 pack above the Endurance pack in some ways. Ooh, night racing. Hold on. Come on, load. So need to make sure we have our car set up properly. So let's go down to 5 gallons. 75% tape. Qualifying mix. Soft tires, soft tires.
Data logging disabled.
Wait till the line. It's so easy to just want to turn off this pit speed limiter way too early. Because that's what every other track has. But they modified it. Man, that M8 has... Is it just torque or what? So we might overheat our engine, I'm not sure. We'll find out. I want to say my post-processing's at high. I'm not certain though. Oh. Little too much throttle there. Oh, Marcel, I hardly raced thee. But Pete says that's a good excuse. Oil temp at 203. I think we'll get one lap out. Maybe one lap. Maybe two. We'll see how it goes. Little wide. Miracle that we kept the car going straight there. Tomas. Yeah, I know that can be a little confusing at times. Top of the chart for now, until the LMP cars come out. What lap time did we bring in? And now 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi. There we go. .202, not bad. Can literally tell it's Corvette, yeah. But yeah, we cut 2 seconds off by going to qualifying trim. So let's...
Disable.
We're clear. I so want to turn off the pit speed limiter right now. But you're not supposed to. So used to the iRacing and Virtua LM versions of this track. Oh, guy behind me really pushed it hard, almost lost it. That M8 behind me looks really quick. So next race, I'm going to try medium tires, see if they don't fall off as much. That's what I'm wondering about. Wow, he cooked it big time. Whoa, okay. This track really is so much fun. Slight ping hiccup ahead of me. So he must have just finished his lap. Little wheel hop right there. Yeah, Solid Jutsu, this is the first party laser scanned circuit for rFactor 2. Odds are, I bet they have a race set for nighttime soon. Eater, yeah, this is about 8 years newer than the iRacing and the Virtua LM version, so Sebring is a very bumpy circuit. Zandvoort, I do not believe is laser scanned. I don't believe so. Man, turn 17 is so flippin' bumpy. And you could just see the wheel jumping, and this is just like 30% strength. Yeah, Eater, I agree with that. I was talking about that earlier. rFactor 2 is a great sim racing title. But it's the little things that really drag it back. Oh man, that was intense. You really work up a sweat with this car. So let's see. Qualified a lot better this time. I want to say we qualified 16th last race. Now we qualified 10th with a 2:02. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll definitely take that. So we got a modifier setup now. 5.8 gallons. Yeah, that should be fine. 25% tape. Boom. Let's go to medium tires, see how that goes.
Data logging disabled.
Ooh, that was close. We almost missed the start. 5th in class. I will definitely take that. Excuse me. That was not me hitting the wall, I don't think. No, I didn't touch the wall. That was someone else behind me. Imagine driving this track on a motion rig. Hopefully, like, next time I'm at CXC, I can try this version of the track. And as much as I was saying that it's the little things, the little nitpicks that really draw rFactor 2 down, it's also those things that really help bring it up. The position lights, I freaking love that they added those in. It's about time. And that adds another layer of depth. Driving past the crowds, and sometimes like you hear the air horn and the crowds cheering, that's a great little touch. So the little things hold it back, but the little things also really bring it up to life too. So it's those things that, just random thoughts. Yeah, it's interesting though, because the question is, what is ISI working on now? They haven't really publicized anything, but they said they're working on a title and that it's not rFactor 3. So, should be interesting. Trying to time for a good start. Three wide into turn one. Oh, little bump, little bump. We're okay. Oh my gosh, that was exciting. Start to the race. Trying to close the door. So I think we're fourth in class now, I think. Whoa. Car just shot out from under me. Saw a lockup ahead of us, but they controlled it. All right, Scoot. Oh, this is such a tricky corner. Oh, GTE cars surround. Looks like we have a Porsche behind me that's really on a mission. Caught the grass a bit. Man, he cooked it in there deep. Side-by-side battle. Oh, this is rFactor 2 at its best, guys. It truly is. Gonna go for the crossover. Nope, he got the good drive off. It just seems like that RSR is a little more lively, and I think it's a little lighter, so sometimes it can have a little better get up and go. Also, I'm wondering if he has his wing a little lower downforce, because that could help him a little bit too. That BMW is just so silent. I miss the sound of that Z4. That Z4 sounded amazing back in the day. Give him the corner. Yellow flag. What's going on? Five minutes left. Car just washed out under me. We're good though, 5 seconds ahead of the next car. Just gotta calm down. I think these guys on soft tires, their tires are going to fall off, and then I might be able to reel them in if we have enough time. I don't know if we do, but we will find out. So the dirt map thing, it's a little less exciting than I thought it would be. It's more of a texture thing to make the track look a little more authentic. I was hoping that it was going to be more dynamic, similar to what iRacing has, where dirt would get kicked up onto the track if you run off track. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it is at this point. It just seems like it's more cosmetic. Marcel said that within a couple weeks they're going to be releasing a technical document talking more about it. Well, there's one spot. Oh, that guy was lapped down, I think. Osage 2, it might be, I'm not certain. So we're about 4 seconds behind 8th. I don't think I have the time to catch him. Or the car to catch him, I think. I'm wondering if some of these cars might be a little OP. I'm not sure. Yellow flag. Porsche spun out. Okay. Well, that's 7th. Patrick, great to hear. So hopefully it's working a lot better for you. We got 1 lap to go. Can we hold off for 7th place? It's going to be a challenge. A little too hard there. Break the draft. Ah, he has a run. Hug the inside. Get the power down. Oh, I got punted. Come on. Really? Well, now my rear end is all borked. I can feel it. Please work well on 17. Dang it! Almost got 7th overall. Wait, Bentley GT3? How did he finish this high up? So let's see our overall results. 4th, 6th, 8th, 9th. 4th overall, or 4th in class, 9th overall. I'll take that. And oh man, this was a lot of fun, guys, but I think I am going to call it. This was fun being able to race in the community night, our day/night, the community event for rFactor 2. A lot of fun, and man, again, freaking recommend this track. This track is so much fun. And it has, honestly, it has a characteristic that is drastically different than the Virtua LM rFactor 2, or Virtua LM Sebring, or the iRacing Sebring. This just has its own different character to it, which is really a testament to how Sebring has evolved over the years. So this was so much fun, guys, and hopefully I can take part in more community events and maybe even host some of my own servers. So maybe be able to host some rFactor 2 events. And I will talk about that in the future if I can get it working and host some events and have some fun. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. I'm William Marsh for the SimRacingPaddock, and you have a great rest of your day.